All right, boys and girls, Mark, Centerline Systems, on another just incredibly beautiful March day. I think it's probably like high 40s, low 50s right now. So anyway, wanted to do a quick video, talk about our G2 gear roll. But you know, before I do, I wanted to say something else. What the hell was I gonna say? Oh, I don't have my beard anymore, as you can clearly see, and I am an ugly person without the beard. And it's like when you hear about people who lose a limb and they have the phantom limb. I keep reaching for my beard and trying to comb it. Yeah, I don't know. But anyway, G2 gear roll. So we're gonna do a quick little video on this. I'm not gonna do a loadout video because there's just so much stuff that can go into these pockets. But what I am gonna just show you instead are two of the ones that I carry, kind of show you a little trick about how I carry one of them, talk about, you know, them mounting to the bottom of the mother canteen carrier or any other item for that matter, our gear strap kits, and just a little bit of that kind of stuff, and just show you some other ways in which that the G2 can be used, you know, because again, it doesn't have to be going out in the woods with you all the time. Like, so this is my gear roll that I carry with me on a daily basis, right? So it's one of the ones that we make in red, and matter of fact, we only got a little bit of this red left. That's why it's on sale on the website. I probably won't bring this red back. We're looking into some orange for this year again. But this is the one I carry with me every day. And so just funny, on the way over here, I'm at my actual house. So I've got three offices. So I've got the office in the shop, I've got my home office, and then, and this right here is, I'm calling it my truck hood office. And so if you've received a phone call from me in the last couple of weeks, it's probably been me sitting right here, you know, maybe having a glass of wine, maybe having a beer, but like, this is where I'll make phone calls at the end of the day, just trying to get some vitamin D. But so anyway, so I kind of like the hood of the truck here for the shot. But the story was, before I came over to do this video and I grabbed Mighty Mouse, last year, Cindy was giving me a hard time because I carry batteries with me and as part of my EDC carry. And at the shop, we've got an electronic door, and the door was failing. The electronic lock was failing. I'm like, oh, okay, no problem. And I just pulled out my G2 out of my rucksack, and I opened it up, and I grabbed the batteries, and I flipped it all out and took care of it. And she's, you know, she's giving me a hard time. She's like, who carries batteries? I'm like, the person who almost got locked out of the shop is giving the guy who carries batteries with him a hard time when you needed batteries. So I guess that's just kind of a fun little way to give Cindy a hard time, but also just talk about, you know, what you carry inside of your kit, whether it's the mother, whether it's on your person as part of your EDC, or, you know, if you carry a gear roll around with you, you know, it kind of varies, right? You know, I could have this loaded out for survival. I could have it loaded out for shelter. This right here, and I'll open this up a little bit, this is just loaded up for my everyday kind of electronic needs, you know, as a business owner. So I'll talk about that in a second. Well, matter of fact, here, let's just do this kind of segue. Here's a question that we kind of get every now and then is, you know, when we first started making the gear roll, I threw two docking straps in here with this. And what I came to find out after about a year or two of doing that is most people didn't know what the docking straps were for, and they didn't use them. So that's a lot of extra effort and a lot of money on our part. So, and then, but what I also had is a lot of people who wanted a more robust gear strap kit. So what we did is we started making these three different gear strap kits. So if you want to mount your G2 to the bottom of another item, such as the mother canteen carrier, or the back of a car seat, or to the frame of a bicycle, or to the outside of a rucksack, or whatever, you can either get one of the gear strap kits, or if you've got your own straps, you can come up with your own way of doing it. But there's a multitude of different straps that you can use that would allow you to mount it on the bottom of your mother canteen carrier. And you can go on Instagram and see all kinds of people with all kinds of creative, innovative ways of mounting it to the bottom of the mother, to the outside of a rucksack, on bike frames. So again, there's tons of ways to do it, you know, if you've got a bunch of different gear straps or straps that you can use with it. And so see the website for the strap kits, because you'll see all the different things we have. All right, so before I go into showing you what I carry in my everyday one, here, let's put that up there. So this is one that I just carry in my vehicle. And what I wanted to do here is, this is, because I guess we just talked about gear strap kits. So I just actually took some of the docking straps from our gear strap kit. I added the extra buckles that come with it onto the webbing itself. I just ran them through the webbing, and then on the G2, on the webbing of the G2, I added the female buckle, which you can see there. right? And then, so what I have this hung up, or how I have this strung up is, this actually is, so imagine my vehicle seat is right here, and this is my headrest. This is right behind my headrest. Let's say my head is the headrest. Whoa! So this is right here, and I just take these docking straps, attach them around the headrest, and then they just plug in like this. And now my G2 with medical supplies or whatever I'm carrying in it is just suspended just like this right behind my headrest on my in my vehicle here, you know, in my vehicle office. Yeah, so this one right here is, I've been carrying this one for a long time, and that's exactly how I run this guy. So I just wanted to point that out. That's another, you know, plug for the gear strap kits. You know, there's all kinds of, I've got, as a matter of fact, on one seat is my mother canteen carrier, and the other seat is my extra G2, right? So that's what I carry behind my seats in my vehicle. All right. I'm just going to open this up again, just kind of a small, just stupid little video. You know, I've got a lot of people saying, hey, let's do a full loadout video on the G2. And the truth is, there's just so many items, I can't cover everything. So I figured what I do, I just show you what I carry in mind. Hopefully that gives you some ideas and kind of gets your creative juices going. So, you know, there's the carrying handle. So again, you can just reach in your rucksack, grab it. You can hook this on the back of a door. So for example, let's say you're using this as a travel shaving kit or some type of toiletry kit. You know, this could just be hooked up on the door in your hotel room, you know, and matter of fact, so here's what I do. I'll just kind of jumping around a little bit. I just loosen up the straps. I don't take them all the way out. I just loosen them up, and then I just pull them off to the side, right? And then that way it's going to unroll. So I could now hang this from, you know, the door in my hotel or whatever, and now all my toiletry, you know, could be just inside of these different pockets, right? And now let's do that. So let's kind of go into the different pockets, right? Well, and then actually, I guess another little thing, you know, so you see you've got all these little tie downs on either corner, right? 2 up front and 2 in the back side. So that's if you wanted to, like, you know, run this off of a ridge line, right? So if this was my campsite, I could run it through a ridge line. I could have this suspended. I could wrap this around a tree and then just take some 550 and some little S-beaners, hook this around a tree. If I needed to, I could hook this around my chest if I wanted to carry it that way. I could hook it around my waist, you know, just little carabiners right here, and then hook it onto my pants. So here, let's see if we can do it. And I could just have it just like this right around my waist if I wanted these items, like, you know, immediately available for whatever it was I was doing potentially, right? So just a couple different options, and you got 2 on either side. So different ways you can carry it. And on the 2 main pocket flaps, you'll see there's some MOLLE attachment points here. That's for putting a carabiner, keys, you know, running bank line through here, you know. So matter of fact, Mighty Mouse, we are going to do this once the weather gets a little better. I still owe you guys a video of showing how I S-roll a tarpon here with the ridge line and everything already on it. And I can just come up to a tree, unhook right here, go around a tree, figure 9, and then just walk out, and the tarp deploys right behind me, secure it to another tree, and then just do 360, put in my corner stakes, and there's your tarp or your shelter set up, you know, really fast. But that's not what I'm using this one for, right? This is, like I said, this is my office stuff. So, and you know, my main pocket here, so I've got this little pouch thing, and that's just where I carry all my, you know, thumb drives, you know, and my iron keys and all my extra cables and cordage and things that I need, right? Which I use those on a daily basis. Then inside here, I got my portable, and you know, look, and this is a huge one, right? These things are so much smaller right now, but this is my portable power, you know, so I can actually charge my phone, my laptop, my tablet, you know, it's got a flashlight on it as well. So I just always carry one of these things because you just never know when you need that extra bit of power, you know, in case your phone dies. My portable hard drive, because again, seriously, you know, I have a computer here at the house that I use and a computer at the shop. So I'm constantly, you know, making sure both computers are on the same sheet of music. So matter of fact, I just did that today. I just downloaded the folder, and then I'll upload it here to make sure that both computers are in sync with each other. So that's inside of this main pocket, and there was tons of room in there, right? Then you got the 2 smaller pockets. Here, I'll just shut this. And these guys are kind of designed around some specific gear. So the larger of the 2 smaller pockets, I just carry a Gerber tool, right? You always got to have a good Gerber tool. You know, never know what you're going to need this for. Now, nowadays, I probably don't need the crimper tool on it, but back in the day, I used that quite a bit for some guys who know what crimping's all about, you know, little plunger. All right, so, but you know, a Leatherman, you know, or a knife, or spare batteries, or a couple different types of flashlights, or those type of components can fit in that larger of the two small pockets. Then in the small pocket, that's where I actually carry my little spare survival tin, right? That's got all my fire starting material in here just in case I did need something like that. And then I got a hand warmer in there because although it's a beautiful day out, it is still northern Minnesota, and you go into the woods, or you go off in the ditch, you never know when you're going to get, found or rescued or whatever. So, all right, and then this goes into my other story. So I open up my long pocket. Now, so before I kind of jump into this, so if you look at the main pocket, you're probably thinking things like shelter, right? Like, tarps, longer items. This longer, kind of more skinny pocket is like where you would probably put things like your tent stakes, your poles, just longer type of items, right? And then so here, kind of just what I was talking about. So here's one battery, that I carry. Got to have a 9-volt. You never know when you'll need that. Here's an extra power cord for my phone if I got to get a charge off something. Then I got a little baggie just full of odds and ends. So this has got like zip ties, 550 cord, pens, a little light in there, a couple different other smaller batteries, and then kind of going to what we were just talking about, and then get another box of batteries, AA's, and then another thing of AAA's, right? 9-volt AA's and AAA's. You just can't go wrong with having those things, as per my story, like, I can't believe you've got batteries. I can't believe you're complaining about it. I just was able to get us back into the building. I mean, whatever. But okay, kind of just having a little bit of fun, but just showing you some of the things that can fit in here, and hopefully you get, it gives you some ideas, right? Just kind of going backwards and working forward. There's a longer skinny pocket. That's more for your longer items. So again, so think your tent stakes, your 550 cord, cordage, cables, those kind of materials. Heck, you could put a couple little small boxes of wine in there, or a small bottle of something in there, a small cylinder. Then you got the small pocket, which is, specifically designed around, get over here, around these size Altoid tins, survival tins, that fits in that guy. So anything that's of that size, and you can see there was still a lot of room in there. And then in the larger mid-size small pocket, that's more for things like, Leathermans, Gerbers, hand tools. Again, you could put, all kinds of different flashlights. You could have all your batteries or your other fire starting materials in here, if you wanted to do that. And then the main pocket, really kind of designed around, tarps, larger items. Maybe if you were to have this with first aid, you could put maybe, like all of your, field dressings inside of here, and then put your smaller items off to the side. So, and I guess maybe that's just a good little point right there. How you use it, I just don't know. I mean, I could sit and do a loadout video, and I could pick 7 different topics, and I could load this thing out for first aid, signal, fire, shelter. You kind of see where I'm going with this, and you can figure out a way to configure it and set this up and carry it in a whole bunch of different configurations, and really just you'll have to use your own imagination, and hopefully this video just kind of shows you a few things of how it goes in there. I mean, I don't know, this could be boring here. I'll just put everything back in here just to show you how easy everything fits. So so right now I'm just putting all kind of my longer skinny items in that long skinny pocket, and there's plenty of space in there. And I don't know if you can see this, there's still tons of space in there. When I put the hand warmer and the survival tin in here, I still got room off to the side. I could get a Bic lighter in there, it's something else. The Gerber tool barely takes up any room in this pocket. So again, I could put more batteries in here. I could put some chem lights in there. I could put another type of tool in there, or a sharpening stick, of some form or fashion. And then, so this is a much larger, again, they make these things so much smaller now. This is a couple years old, but I just love it, and I have it and it works, so I get a new one. But that fits in there, my hard drive fits in there, and then I put this guy in a little bit sideways just so it folds a little bit easier, and I still have a ton of room in here for a whole bunch of different items and objects. And then all I just do is I just fold it in half like that. You can see the 2 small ones kind of make a little bit of a shelf. I bring that guy around, and I just bring the webbing back over the end, so you don't have to undo the webbing every time, right? And there it is, and there it's nice and tight, and I just put it back in my rucksack, and it's good to go. I guess one last little story about this, you know, how this came about, you know, so might as well, yeah, let's just use this as also like, you know, the origin story. So, you know, I had the G1, which is what I originally made for me for bow hunting. And I had my field dressing kit, my kit, right, for dressing an animal, you know, like out in the woods. And so I was doing a little course for Duluth Police Activities, or Duluth, it's called DPAL, Duluth Police Activities League, I think it's called, where a couple years ago I was doing some stuff with some youth, and I was just doing some kind of basic survival stuff with them. And I really realized, like, you know, as much as I liked the G1 and it really worked good for having these longer items when I was out bow hunting, I wanted something that had more pockets and a little bit better organization when I was doing these much more, you know, kind of specific types of courses. And you know, after a little bit back and forth, I'm like, yeah, why am I not just throwing more pockets in there? And then bam, that's exactly how the G2 came into creation, was just going out there, working with some people, doing some stuff. And, you know, and I guess I'm kind of, you know, anal and Germanic. So I was like, oh, I need a little bit better organization because I want this here and this there. And then so I just started adding a few more pockets to it, and the G2 was born. So pretty simple little story. And then, you know, obviously some good feedback from some people adding these little tabs in here so you could hang it up and wear it and use it in a whole bunch of different configurations. So, you know, I don't know, maybe we'll come up with a G3 sometime this year, because I have had some people asking, making some specific requests on a few things. And, you know, some things I can do, other things we can't do, simply because I'm not going to retool the whole product until I'm ready to maybe make a whole new product. But anyway, we got the G1 and the G2. Kind of down and dirty video. You can carry these things a whole bunch of different ways. You know, on the bottom of things, there's actually, you could run these straps through your belt line. You could have this on your belt and, you know, unroll it, you know, so it could be in the small of your back if you wanted to, or the, you know, like where your belt line is. You know, this guy I've got set up, you know, and I've got him rigged up so he's on the back of my seat, and it's nice and tight. It doesn't flop around because I'm tightening these things up when it's actually there, so it's always there when I need it. Yeah, anyway, you can attach it to bike frames, rucksacks. I don't know, Mighty Mouse, what do you think? Did that cover everything?
I think so.
Yeah, it's pretty good for right now, right? Again, a little down and dirty, right? On a beautiful day, getting some vitamin D. All right, well then we're gonna wrap it up. Mighty Mouse is giving me the, you're good, you're good. All right, so that's it. So as always, boys and girls, if you guys got questions, comments, you know the deal. Reach out anytime, phone call, email, you know, direct message. We're doing a little bit better here now on the social media, so either myself or Mighty Mouse. So somebody will respond to you if you do, you know, ping us there. So, but as always, reach out anytime. I'll do the best I can to help you out. All right, everybody, be good. Get outside. Woo!